Hello, and thanks for joining me for our Week 8 update. Mostly what I want to go over is our Chapter 5 presentation that you're working on this week. Particularly, we're going to go over the scoring rubric and talk about the assignment requirements. So I'm looking back, right, to what you just finished last week, and that's Chapter 5, Part 1, where you have put together 3 different life plans using the Odyssey Plan worksheet and filling out 3 of those to essentially give me 3 different scenarios for what might happen in 3 different paths over the next 5 years in your life. So so remember our first life plan would be one that you already have in mind, your current career idea, your current life plan, reality as it exists right now. The second plan should be what you would do if the first plan were not an option. Maybe your first plan is you want to be a veterinarian, but plan 2, you have to pretend that you're allergic to animals, so you have to find a whole new career path. And the third plan should be focused on what you might do if money or image were not an issue. So these are 3 different plans. Almost everybody got full points for this assignment last week. There are a couple people who need to go back because you just did one life plan. I know it can be confusing because each life plan has 3 parts. So I think that was a little confusing for people. But if you got a 1 on that assignment, just go back, look at my week 7 lecture to get some hints on how to do it and post the rest of the assignment by this Sunday. Because you'll need all 3 of those in order to complete the presentation that we're working on for week 8. Right. So the presentation is posted in discussion board because I want that's how we're going to be presenting them, so to speak, both to your peers and to me. So that's where we'll find them. So they're posted there. It doesn't need to be super formal, but it does need to be neat and clear and edited, right? We need some proofreading. But the main purpose is to share your plans with your classmates and get ideas from them. I've had some really cool things come out of this, actually, like people getting connections for internships or places where they could work because, somebody has an uncle who has a dog grooming business and is looking for an intern. So it can be really helpful. So your presentation needs to contain the following. It needs to have all 3 of the 5-year plans. It can be from a picture, from a scan, but we need to be able to read what you wrote on the plans. Right? So you can reuse the material that you used in the week 7 assignment. If you want to make them prettier, you're more than welcome to. But remember, artistic ability is not really the point. So the reflection is important. That's where you are discussing your plans, and it can either be text or voiceover, depending on what kind of presentation you want to do. I highly recommend incorporating it in chunks in relation to the different 5-year plans. So, putting the reflection with the image of the plan you're talking about, or at least in the next slide, rather than just all at the end. Think of it as, especially if it's text, think about these are the words that you would be saying if you were giving this presentation live in class. So for each plan, you'll tell us your overall thoughts. How do you feel about each one? How are you feeling about the resources, likability, confidence, and coherence? Go back to, this is in Chapter 5, so review that section if you need more pointers on that. What ideas do you want to pursue or think about? What would you like ideas about from your classmates? So often this might be a great final concluding slide to remind people how in particular you want them to respond to your presentation. So it must be viewable by your classmates, right? So you need to upload it or attach it. Usually people decide to do a PowerPoint presentation, totally fine. You can also use Google Slides or Prezi, SlideShare, that's fine too. So remember, if you need help with your presentation, let me know, but this is already Thursday. So, so make sure you get in touch with me soon if this is going to be, technologically a problem for you. Oh, I will say also, putting the presentation together as a PDF is a really, kind of lo-fi way to get this assignment done. So you're posting this thing in Blackboard and you're creating a thread. So the thread needs to contain your presentation. And I recommend giving it an interesting name so that your classmates will be drawn to it to reply to you and give you some feedback. When you're giving feedback on somebody's presentation, please do look for ones that haven't gotten a review yet to, to kind of even out the good news. And also, here's my Easter egg comment. I will be giving bonus points if you do an additional review in this assignment. Here's what the rubric looks like. The first section of the plans themselves. All three of them need to be in your presentation. They all need to be readable. The presentation will be scored on its cleanliness, I guess, right? If it's neat, it's a proofread. Did you use a font that's legible? The reflection is the majority of the points for this assignment, that you need to have the minimum of 250 words and answer all the required questions I just went over a minute ago. So make sure that you hit all of those. And then there's the additional 15 points, or the final 15 points. Oh, sorry. So you write 2 response posts that follow the assignment criteria for the full points, and I will be giving bonus points for the additional one. So that's what we're up to this week. And let me know right away if you have any difficulties with the technological part, and we can meet and go through it. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing your presentations.